You are listening to the Photographic Podcast. Your hosts are Jay, Justin, Mike, and Valentine.
Welcome back to the Photographic Podcast.
Yo, word.
We got Val in the corner, repping the NY.
What's good?
And then
Coming at you with nothing but photography facts.
photographic facts.
I dig it.
This segment is FAX by Valentine.
That would actually be a good title. Facts.
Facts.
Yeah, we'll start a new segment.
So we got for today.
So, what's everybody's latest adventure? Where have you been? What'd you do? I heard about some maternity shoots. Anybody do anything else?
We went to the Sinclair gas station over in Fort Worth and shot some
hung out, no
night
invite?
stuff.
Oh yeah, over in that hood over there.
Yeah, I didn't even get an invite to this. What the hell, man?
Oh, that's a lie.
It was not. I did not get an invitation to that.
I said, Justin, what are you doing? And you said, oh, I got to go to a friend's house and help them edit.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was that day. Okay. Well, you're right. All right. That was my bad.
Yeah, that's right.
I got no excuse. I just didn't check the group chat. My bad.
Never check the
Killing
group chat.
Man, I'm out there, out there trying to make that paper, not me.
That bread.
You know what it is? All day.
Lovely.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was
What'd you
pretty
do,
cool.
Valentine?
We got some sorry to interject there. We got some had some good times doing the Sinclair gas station and then that convenience store with the drunk guy that was yelling obscenities for I don't exactly know why. And then walked back across the street to wherever he came from whence he came.
Yeah, he was yelling about something. We're like, what the hell's wrong with that dude? And we walked over there. I was like, that gas station looks cool. Let's go over there and shoot that. And then it was closed. I was like, oh, that's why. He was probably mad because he went over there and they were closed.
Right. Got some good shots though.
Oh my God, I'm ready to post it. I haven't posted it yet.
Wish you'd hurry up.
I'm excited. Can't wait.
Watercolor photos. So
What?
I just got a preset that I'm working on right now. So like a
Jill
dryer.
Scott?
Jill Scott.
Did you say Jill Scott?
I said preset. A dryer. I was like, wait. I was like, Jill Scott. What?
I heard the word Jill Scott.
Shout out to Jill Scott if she's a viewer. No, I was just making this dry preset. Just kind of the idea is desaturating the blues and reds, bringing the yellows, give it more of a warm look. So interested to see how that look.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, just give me about like 3 more months. That's usually my turnover time whenever I do TFPs with y'all.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm still working on my very first TFP that I ever did 2 years ago. I got 3 photos done. I spent extensive times in Photoshop checking every single pixel. I'm like 3/4 of the way through whatever the next photo was. I don't remember anymore.
Oh my gosh. I got a question.
Sure.
Have y'all ever went back like after not all these years, like it's been so long, but after like from the first time, like the first photos you shot, have you actually went back and tried to edit them like with the way that you edit now? Like, hey, let me see how this works on this, because back then I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
No, because now I just hit auto.
I did.
The past.
Now I just hit auto.
You know what? I won't even lie. I used to really feel like every time I edited something, it had to be from scratch. And now I love presets.
Yeah.
At this point, we've made enough presets that we can just throw one on and see if it kind of fits how we feel about it. I like that I can do that now.
I need to go back through my presets because they are ridiculous.
Well, I've got some that are trash. I need to just make disappear.
Yeah, same. I need to delete most of mine because they're from those beginning days where I just learned that I could like save all the edits that I did, and I mean, there's no reason that I should put the clarity slider at 100 and the dehaze at 100 and the texture at 100
At least
and
turn
the
on the
saturation at
dehaze,
100
just leave it there.
and the contrast at 100 and then underexpose my photo by 4 stops.
Yeah.
You
no
got
reason
to
for
get your
that.
money's worth out of Lightroom.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to get your
Yeah.
money's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, if you're not cranking those sliders, you're not getting your money out of it.
Grain to 100, and that's how I started shooting film. It was weird.
Right.
I forgot some of the Lightroom functions because I don't have it on my laptop anymore. Do y'all have vibrance and saturation?
Yep.
Yeah.
I use
Yeah.
I go vibrance 100%. Now this is for like work whenever it's like client. This
Mhm.
is my own little cheat, which was gonna be my next question. Do you have a standard preset for client work?
No.
Hmm.
I take that back. I use a couple of the Peter McKinnon presets that I bought. However, you have to like tone those way down because those are like 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
But some of them are decent.
Are you
like
criticizing his work right now? Are you calling them out? Are we doing a beef now?
no, I'm not going to start a beef
Okay,
with Peter McKinnon. He will destroy me.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Got to put it out there.
Well, his stuff was made for, whatever he was shooting and whatever he had in mind. So whenever, it's just like any other preset that we use.
Yo, Petey,
Yeah,
want that smoke?
No, I don't. I do not have the budget that Peter McKinnon does. He will absolutely destroy me with.
Followers will.
Yeah, his followers will rip us to
Right.
shreds. I mean,
They're like, "Sit
sure,
down."
we'll get lots of hate watches for our videos. Maybe we can monetize our channel after that.
Hey,
That'd be
there we go.
cool. You know what? Yeah, let's start a beef with Peter McKinnon.
PM haters.
PM Haters Club. Hashtag. No, he's an excellent artist. No, like Michael was saying, the presets are great, but like they're not meant for every single photo, and it just depends on what you're shooting. But I do like a couple of his. They're I used them for like one of my other shoots that I recently did, like a graduation photo shoot or something. It was a nice cool tone. It bumped up the reds, so like the blush in her face wasn't very strong, so like she looked kind of pale. And then I put the preset on, and it brought out a little bit more of the color in her cheeks. It was great, so worked out nice. And just had to turn it down from like regular to 10% because
So
they're just really strong. They're really strong presets, but they were like one of his first preset packs, so you'll learn as you go. But presets aren't like a one and done kind of thing, no matter what you do. So like, it's just a starting place.
Was that going to be a no for everybody else as well? Like, I don't really kind of like a preset that y'all just go and push it out and then send it to the customer.
Well, if I find one that I like, then I might try to apply that across the entire session and then just kind of fine tune it a little bit. But I never just click it and walk away. It's never that.
Well, not never the walk away, but I mean, usually have like that. I am known for. Well, this kind of goes back to the conversation we had, I think, a couple weeks ago, where it's more of a branding, saying whenever I'm working with clientele, then this is my look, and whenever I talk about Jalissa and her work, is like, to me, like, it stands out whenever I look at it. So she can do different edits or presets and stuff like that, but there's a certain look that it gives. So in my mind, I would say, okay, she has a certain amount of editing she does to give a certain look, and then boom, that's out. So then it makes me wonder, okay, well, why not just have a preset that gets you to that step, and then that's technically your work that you do. So then just make do the fine tunes like Mike said, and then send it out to the customer.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case though. A lot is you'll in the early on, you're editing everything 100% all the way through until you figure out that you can make presets, and then you start making several presets to fit different themes and stuff that you edit, and then when you start shooting similar types of things over and over again, then at least for me, I always refer to those presets that I've done before in some situations, and even experiment with some others just to see if I can kind of feel it. But just go back to those presets and apply those, and and if they work, then just kind of tweak them out. Because if I'm doing work for a client, I want everything to be consistent. I don't want like every image to look wildly different from the one before it. So yeah, definitely preset. If you've already made one, get you in the zone of what that style is going to be for that shoot, and then you kind of just fine tune it from there.
Yeah, basically. That's what I do too. I have like my favorites. I have like a favorite folder, and there's some that I do go to because I do like the look that I get from it. Like I have one that I use majority of the time, but it doesn't go with everything all the time. So, but I have a few that I go through, and then I can play with them after I'm done, just so I can be a little more consistent with the way I actually put out my stuff. So I've noticed though, my street stuff looks a little bit different than my regular portraiture.
Well, because you're also using like off-camera flash for your portraiture. That'll definitely change the look of your photos.
So
I just really like that pop I get from your portraits. That's something that I really try to either replicate. I mean, because I love using just natural light, but then there's just there's flash just has that it that it gives to it. And I even try to cheat, and y'all see me bringing like sprays and stuff. I try to put on the models, so it gives their body a little more of a sheen look to it.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have to use a flash, but I mean you can only get so much without it. But I feel like for yours, you just really kind of hit the nail on the coffin on hitting that nice pop look, especially when it comes to like the skin and the vibrance around the subject and stuff like that. So kudos to you.
Yeah, I didn't know that skin. That's a trick that people use with the oil and stuff. That's why they use that.
Well, for individuals that doesn't have our magnificent
melanin
pigment, melanin.
Don't watch me in 4K. It's awful.
The skin is not really good with the light. So and there's some models that I've done where their skin is kind of flat, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it doesn't give like a nice pop. And if I do my edits, I've noticed that there's been some in the past where as much as I try to edit it, nothing I can do with their skin. So I'm like, okay, well this is just a lost cause here. So that was kind of what introduced the idea to maybe kind of get a change to it. So
sure.
Some butter.
Speaking of editing, do y'all think that there's a point in editing that it's no longer photography? Like
Photoshop.
Sure. Like, do you define that still as photography? Like, there's this great composite photographer, Julian. He'll take photos from around the world and then composite them into something and turn it into a completely different landscape. Is that still photography, or do you consider that like digital art or something else?
Did he take all of the photos himself?
I don't know. I can't verify that. Just judging by the photos, I would say yes, but it's been a while since I watched him. I'm not really super into compositing images like that.
Right.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think if they're coming,
let's say yes.
If they're coming from a camera and if he took the photos, then it's still photography. If it's completely fabricated, then I would say it's just digital art. I mean, art. Sure. It's all art, obviously, but yeah, that's where I would draw the line. Is did you take the photos or did you download images and create composites of them?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, gotcha. So you basically, the deal with that is like saying you are a photographer who practiced photography if you actually took the pictures versus someone just taking pictures a photographer took and using them for themselves to make digital art.
Right.
Okay. Have y'all seen those? I think either Lightroom or Photoshop. I think it's a Photoshop commercial. They have that one song like, and it feels so good.
Oh yeah.
And then so it shows and it shows like all different things you can kind of really do on Photoshop. When you take like a picture, let's say of a bison, and then you pull like maybe the sky, the picture of the sky, like night sky, whatever. And
sky
you
replacement.
Take off the no, not sky replacement. You basically do like an I don't know,
a double exposure.
take picture of freaking stars, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And you take the stars, and you take away you just keep the outline of that bison. You put the stars into that bison. Maybe add some layers of different color.
Oh,
Does
sure.
that- So when you're saying that, that's what I think about. Now,
Sure.
is that considered photography, or is that called like digital art? Because
I
I
mean-
call that digital art.
I feel like if like Mike and Jalissa, like if you took the photos, sure, it's still photography because like you can achieve that type of thing if you take the time. You can achieve that using double exposure. So it's possible to do that all in camera without doing it digitally. However, I guess if you do it digitally and you didn't take the photos, I would consider that digital art.
Right. That's 100% where I draw the line is, did you use a camera to take the basis of what you are now turning into digital art? Because it involves photography still, and so it still is photography at its core. While the output may not be something that you can just shoot with the press of a shutter,
Right.
doesn't mean that it didn't involve it all the way through.
Sure.
So, is it pure photography? No, but it's
Right.
rooted in it.
Also,
So
there's levels. You added the word pure photography.
Sure.
This is where
I
I
think
feel like
that,
it goes
like-
in that conversation with being a professional.
I think that I think that's kind of a spectrum for photography because like Ansel Adams famously was part of the F32 club. They thought that photography could only be in black and white and only with high resolution photos, and you achieve that with like high f-stops and sitting there for hours and hours at a time. However, he was also a master at dodging and burning, so it's not like he was showing you his unedited work. He would edit the photos. So like at what point does editing is editing still part of photography? I feel like that's a spectrum, like we were just talking about.
Yeah, and when I say
mean,
pure photography, I specifically mean all I did was frame, do the composition, do the exposure, and then create the image. Like that would, to me, is pure photography. Like with no
here's the
other things
thing.
added.
If you convert that raw data into a JPEG, that's been edited by the computer. That's an interpretation of the raw data.
Right.
So it's not even like a raw actual photo. That's the computer or software that you're using to interpret that raw data into a photo.
Yeah.
Is it edited?
Huh.
Some would argue that it's been edited already.
Right.
I feel like where it draws the line for me, and I understand my terminology behind it,
Sure.
but for me, could the end product of what you put out, is that something that you could visually see with your own eyes?
Gotcha.
So I think I put it so much more restrictive, I guess line of.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. All right.
I like that too. I think that makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures people put out. It's like, oh, it's an amazing picture. I was at the train station one with this other photography group, and I can't remember the model's name. I wish I could give her a shout out right now. She does some nice work. But one of the photographers, I think, I don't know. That might start bombs. I'm not gonna say his name. I like him. This photographer took a picture of this model on a train, and it was a very moody set. Now, I remember the time that we took the picture, we took the picture of the model. Now, from what you got from the camera was nothing close to what this end product was.
Sure.
So, I'll accept it as, that sounds weird. I personally accept it as a photo. However, I don't like to put it in the same line of us. Okay, well, is this exactly what I would have saw with my own eyes? Because what he put out, my eyes could never give this, visual.
Sure, but you have that visual in your head of what you like when you're taking that photo, what you want it to look like, and that's kind of the purpose of photography is to
digital art.
Yeah, sure, but I mean,
that's a
my
start
personal
from
opinion.
there.
That's what, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
Digital art starts with photography.
Sometimes. Then there's the people that do those 3D renders, which
that's true.
Those things are getting super
ridiculous.
real. Like I've seen some photos in a aesthetics posting on Facebook, And hot damn, those things, like, I cannot tell whether that's reality or if that's a digital render. Like,
Wow.
these people are getting good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Are
on
they
that
doing that
note
with
of,
people's faces?
One of these days, you can have a
they're doing it
boss
with
who fires
landscapes.
you and he uses it
Oh,
with one of
okay.
those 3D rendered faces. Just so he doesn't have to go through it. He writes the responses out. He's like, yes, we did not like your work performance. So this will be your last day. You don't have to come in.
I
Why are
would
you
not
not
be
showing me any
surprised.
emotion, man?
Right.
This is very hard for me.
It's so hard for me to do this to you right now.
Right.
Yeah. On the note of spectrums, though, we kind of mentioned it. What do y'all define as being a professional photographer?
Oh yeah. So what someone told me, I didn't know this.
Uh-huh.
Someone
Did
told
we
me
only have this
that.
convo offline, or did we?
Yeah, we only had it in the
it.
group
Oh
chat.
yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
Oh, wow.
We did. We did.
Mhm.
Someone told me that if it's something that you make a living off of and that's all you do, then you're professional in that. I mean, you can be a professional in multiple things, I assume, but I
Mhm.
think it's if you have like income coming in, consistent
Sure.
income, not just income. That's what they said. Then you're professional. And I'm like, damn, I thought it just meant like you were really good at something, like you knew your ins and outs, but that's not necessarily what
Well,
it
that's
is.
the difference between doing something at a professional level and being a professional.
Sure. Yeah.
Level.
So we do things at a professional level right now, all four of us.
I mean,
Not
that's
me.
up to
No.
your interpretation.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, well, can y'all all get a gig or a book a gig for photography?
Sure.
What's your current skill set? I always thought that was professional.
I guess I have.
Exactly.
Could I
Just do the
continue
wedding.
to? Maybe. I don't know.
Pro level,
He's-
not necessarily professional.
Yeah.
Huh.
I could get like family gigs. I could do a wedding or two, but like,
You have
and I
done a
get
wedding.
like a commercial gig. Like,
Right.
is
I
Nike
was
gonna
like,
hire
you've done
me?
a wedding,
No. No. I'm not near
but you
talented
haven't tried
enough
it.
to.
Yes, he has. We've done 2 weddings together.
Yeah, yeah, we've done.
No. You said like, would
Have
he
I
would he
reached
be
out
able
to
to get
Nike
those?
for them to hire me? No.
How do you know they won't get you?
Just looking at my own work, I wouldn't hire me for millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like,
Well, I mean, you
I
haven't
know
done
my
any fashion photography yet. Like,
sure, like that's it's not one of my skill sets. I'd like it to be, but like, I have enough trouble like asking people to let me take photos of them. So like, to branch out and do something on a commercial level, hell no, no. I don't have near the skill set or the confidence to even try that.
Mhm.
Well-
He's like, I'm not ready for that rejection.
And
I'm not ready for like that humiliation of like, oh sure, so we're on set. We've spent the budget for this shoot is $300,000. Yeah, like have at it.
Let me go ahead and figure out, what did you say you wanted me to shoot? Let me find out how
Yeah,
I need
well,
to figure out how to do this.
you have to
to do
spend that $300,000
worth
though.
of-
Like it's not that you're getting that. The budget for the gaffers, the equipment, the subject that you're shooting, like the product that you're doing, like a car or shoes or whatever. Like you got $300,000 to spend on this shoot, and then we pay you.
It's
Like,
about to be the biggest come up.
yeah, no, no, I'm good. I will bring you
he
coffee.
gets sued for that. That's right.
I will bring you coffee.
No.
Yeah,
Stressful.
yeah. I how many pumps of hazelnut syrup do you need? That's all that I'm prepared to do on that set. Sorry, I don't have the skills. I wouldn't even know where to start. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to
to
reach out to Nike anytime soon.
I'd request to do a second shoot of it and then be like, can I just like be in the area? And I was like, you know what? I'll do it for
A
free.
reshoot?
So when we did that Harley shoot, like that was
Oh.
kind of my idea. I was like, hey, let's do this. Look at our work. We'll show you that we're great. And now
I
you
totally
can
forgot to send
potentially
her
pursue-
photos.
Oh,
Oops.
oh yeah. I think we sent her the pictures and I mean, on the album thing, she was very quick to add everybody and their grandmama on that email to see the photos, and I'm like, dang, not even a single word from you though.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do business with Harley Davidson. I'm just playing. Just kidding.
Yeah, no.
So, on a Brandon Bridge, just in case. I like their motorcycles.
Right. I own Kodak stock. Please send me Portra 400, please.
How
Right.
do you?
One share.
0.73 shares.
No, Kodak
Hey,
stock's like $10.
Your owner, you can be in that freaking meeting. Just me, the person you talk to.
Release Ektachrome. Bring it back. Sorry, not Ektachrome. Kodachrome. Bring back Kodachrome.
Yeah.
To go all the way back to like the beginning.
Mhm.
Do y'all ever get bored with some of the work that y'all doing? Like I have issues with that sometimes. Like when I'm in that moment taking the pictures, I'm like, dang, love it. Or like for instance, when we was at the water garden and we was there for like maybe a couple minutes and it was cold, I wasn't really feeling it. But then I had that 5 minutes of like, you know what? Let me make something happen. And then I was like, boom, I got it. And then I get home and I'm like, well, don't really care about editing these pictures. And it's not like none of the pictures are good. It's just I just don't feel like editing any pictures. Like I don't care for the pictures to want to edit them.
Yeah.
Time to time I come back and like touch it and I'm like, I'm off of it again.
I've over the last year I've kind of gotten into that groove, and I don't know, I feel like I'm just in like an artistic funk. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just COVID and like there's not really much to do outside anymore, or like I feel like I've taken the photos that I need to, but there's something in me that wants to do something else. I just don't know what it is or how to get to that point. And I'd like to start doing portraits, but like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to pose people. Like I have a few basic things that I can do on Pinterest and stuff, but like I want to do portraits. I want to do fashion stuff. I would love to get hired by Nike and shoot like magazine covers. That would be fucking awesome. But I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I have no like, there's no voice in the back of my head like, oh, you should get this type of model and this outfit and we should go to this spot and it'll be this color scheme. Like, that's all that comes out. All right.
I actually haven't shot anything that I didn't want to do lately. I don't necessarily get bored with anything that I'm doing or anything that I've done. Sometimes, kind of like Justin was saying, I get in these little funks where I want to do something, but I don't know what it is that I want to do. Right. And I find that sometimes just doing anything is, while maybe isn't the answer every single time, at least gets me kind of in a groove for a minute. And if I could just maintain it, sometimes it's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But I don't ever get, I wouldn't say bored. I don't get uninspired sometimes, maybe.
That would be the term word. Uninspired. Yeah. I have another YouTube channel. I really want to make content for it. I have a list of ideas for videos that I want to make. How to shoot them? I got nothing. I really want to go out and do more portraits with this red scale, but how to film a video out of that? I got nothing. Especially me and myself and I and a model. I don't know how to film that kind of stuff. I feel like I need another person. But then to have another person following me around with a camera, like that feels so, it feels so pretentious. I know it's not. Like that's the whole point. Like that's what you do. That's how these things get made. But like to have somebody follow me around, like I don't think that highly of myself, I guess.
Who the hell you think you are?
Right.
Yeah.
And be one of those guys.
Right. Like it's already awkward enough being in front of a camera to have somebody like follow me with like a microphone on the top of it and stuff. It's just real weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I hear you.
I have like a lot of salt in my body. I'm sorry, just
feeling inflamed.
No. What about Jaleesa? Do you get bored?
Yes.
Like, yes.
Tell us about
I will say uninspired and bored because lately because now, as you can see, obviously we're doing a podcast, so
Mhm.
we're somewhat bored with something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But
sort of.
Actually, to be
doing
completely
something
not
honest,
really.
different.
this has been like more cathartic for me because like I've been wanting to make videos, and like this is an easy way to make a
Mhm.
video. But
Yeah.
it also like I'm learning so many things on how to make videos, how to edit and stuff that like um
There you go.
I'm a little bit more comfortable doing this. I don't really like know how to like do something crazy with the edits, but like I can string a video together, I can do the audio, and I'm a little bit more comfortable in Premiere Pro, so I think that like over time that'll make me more prone to making more videos because I kind of know how to piece them together. But as far as like
Right.
the content of the content is the place where I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I've been bored with portraits. I've always been kind of bored with portraits sometimes. Like I'll do them, and then like at first when I first started doing them, it was like, yeah, this is cool. But then you get to that point where it's like, oh, I'm so tired of you get in and you're editing portraits, and you're like, man, I really would rather be editing a landscape right now because you can be more creative and stuff like that with landscapes. You can't really get too creative with portraits because then they look fucking crazy like aliens or some shit. So
I mean,
Right.
you could do
you
that.
know,
Get crazy with it. Make him look like an alien.
Yeah. You may not get paid for it, but you can
not
do
paid.
it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
Unless
I
that was
mean,
the
if I
concept.
hit someone up,
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
hit someone up like, hey, I want to do this crazy ass shit, then that's fine. But for
Yeah.
someone to come to me and say, hey, I want to pay you to do this, and they're probably not good, they're gonna be like, no, I don't want that shit. We just want regular ass pictures with
Sure.
normal
Yeah.
normal white balance.
Right.
Yeah. I feel that too, though. I don't really care too much about doing portrait type work. I don't hate it when I do it, but I do it not often enough to get burned out on it. I really
Right.
enjoy being outside, taking pictures of things, anything, taking photos of anything outside. That I mean, if people are in the photos or aren't in the photos, doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But I feel like that if I have to sit too much in a studio interacting with another person to that type of end, that I'd probably get burned out on it too.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I found out I don't really enjoy studio, really. It's like you feel so restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that could also be a point where that might be just something that like I don't know. For me, I feel that like in a studio, there's just so much that you can do that it's like overwhelming,
Yeah.
and then you get stuck.
Right.
Because like in a studio, especially the right kind of studio that has like their own lights and stuff,
Mhm.
it's fucking endless. Like you can do so many different things, and like you can play with color combinations and gels on the lights. You can play with backdrops. You can play with the decorations that they have, like just depending on the type of
Mhm.
studio.
Right.
But it's all limited to the type of studio.
Yep.
And then it's just limited to your imagination. And I think that like me personally, I've never been very artistic, and this has been my artistic outlet. So like I'm just overwhelmed with the infinite expanse that is photography and trying to figure out what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I like the whole thing of having everything you need and stuff. My thing is it's like you're in this space and you have this wall and that's it. It's not like outside where we can like go behind the bushes and we can do this and we can do that. We can have you over here laying on the ground. Like in a studio, it's just like you have this area that you can work in. And once you move a little bit to this, oh shit, now we can see everything in the fucking studio.
Yeah.
It's like you got this one little area that you can work in.
Sure. But I mean, you could work that area of the studio into the photo, make it part of the story.
Yeah.
I think that's
Like,
part of the thing. We're used to shooting outside and having that availability to move around like that we haven't challenged ourselves to shoot in those tighter spaces. I think just
Sure.
like Justin was saying, like you just have to learn more and more about dealing with the stuff that's there and the limitations of it, go right along with it.
Mhm.
I say all this and I'll go to a studio and not do any of it. So like don't
Well,
don't
of
take
course.
my word.
Of course,
Like
but
take my word with a grain of salt. Like I can give great advice, but as soon as I try to do it, nah. it's gonna look trash. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna
it's
delete it and
it's like everything else. I think that once you find what it is, that's what your limitation is for you, and even in a studio environment, it's almost like a level up. Like, oh, I figured that thing out. Now it opened up a whole new avenue for me to deal with new whatever in the studio.
Right.
I want to pretend, or at least think that that's the way.
Well, there you go. That's how we keep from getting bored. We try different things. So maybe we should try that out then.
Exactly.
Studio time. Let's go.
Oh, we're
But
doing a studio.
on that note,
oh,
it's time to go. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.